Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Check out our large assortment of logo merch and our lifestyle collection as well. Just head over to abvnetwork.com and click on Shop. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. Finally, we are sponsored by the upcoming ABV Barrel Shop, a new liquor store experience coming to St. Louis, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop will serve as home to the ABV Network and will be owned and operated by Steve Akeley, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton, a.k.a. the Barrel Buddies. To learn more about the investment opportunities in this new venture, listen to the ad at the end of this podcast. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss why bourbon drinkers aren't brand loyal. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Cailee Baker, Luke Otero, and Evan Van Scoik.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Oh,
Hey.
hola.
Hey. So, yeah, I don't know. I just heard Fred Noe talking about this recently, how it used to be different. And I do think he's right. I think back in the day, and I know my parents were brand loyal. So I think back in the old days, people were very brand loyal to specific brands, and that would be the one that they drank, and that was it. And not so much. I don't know that most of us are really loyal to any brand. Every once in a while, you hear somebody who's really into it, like the guy who does the Wild Turkey, whatever his name is. He's definitely a rare breed guy. But most people, have huge collections of a lot of different stuff. So we'll talk about why this difference is today versus years ago. We'll do that after the break. For right now, Luke said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Luke?
Yeah, thank you. It takes a lot for me to really get revved up about anything. And, saw this Bravo Vanderpump Rules, and two of the main characters started a bourbon line, and it's called Tom's Lovin' Bourbon. Okay. And I have been a very big proponent, Steve and Beka, you've known that anyone who's trying to do something with the bourbon boom, whether it's toothpicks or candles or lampshades, or I'm all for that. But when it comes down to the actual whiskey in the bottle, and someone's trying to take advantage of the good work and hard work of many generations of people who have been in it, and everyone knows what the recipe for bourbon is. And this particular one calls itself a bourbon blended whiskey, but they add port wine to it. So I don't know what distiller, or what label they're falling under, but that just pisses me off.
They add port wine to it?
Yeah.
It says,
it says right there,
bourbon whiskey blended with port wine.
And does it call it bourbon on the label too itself?
Yeah.
I guess I didn't even identify.
It comes down to the wording. It's the wording. It's very, but again,
it's
most
not on the label. It's on the title and description of the product.
Right. But you can't, and in my opinion, you can't say that.
Right.
I agree.
And be right about it.
Oh, I agree. And I hate it. It grinds my gears. I'm going to use that old term. It grinds my gears when I go into a liquor store and I see like a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey with natural added flavors and like, something like that added very small at the end. It's like, no, it's not a bourbon at that point. You can't actually, like this one right here that we bought the other day. My husband is a sucker for like anybody that tells him to buy something that's good.
Okay.
So one of his
my
army buddies
thing is,
that just likes
does
to
this
drink
bother-
to get drunk.
Does this bother anybody else other than me?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
it bothers it bothers me because we get, Royce will be making a label and send it into the TTB, and one thing on there that shouldn't. Yeah. Oh God.
That one's
Ugh.
definitely.
That's not bourbon. It also is 60
Oh, yeah.
proof, Cailee. It's
Yes.
60 fucking proof.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So
breaks,
this
breaks
is
many of the
something that
rules of bourbon.
Clint, we really just got this bottle because we wanted to put it in our cider every once in a while. Like it was just an impulse buy, and someone was like, "Oh, it's so good, you should try it."
It's so
But
sweet.
like
It's
when
so sweet.
he came out of the liquor store with it, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Of course it is. There's brown sugar in it.
Yeah, it's brown sugar bourbon. You can't to me, they shouldn't be able to call it brown sugar bourbon.
I know. They're so, like you said, Royce has to get raked over the leaves on this thing, and then other people, it seems like they can get stuff like that through. It's like, how does this happen?
Yeah, submitting cola requests and shit like that is so difficult, but somehow, somewhere,
and then some of them fucking go through, and
Right.
they shouldn't have gone through. Like, and on their website, Luke, I just looked, and they have a tab for their rye whiskey and their bourbon whiskey, and their bourbon.
Oh, this is
not
one thing.
bourbon.
I would like to know
Right.
the difference between a bourbon like that, the brown sugar bourbon, and then this Crown Royal bourbon mash that I have that had to have this giant sticker that said this is not bourbon whiskey because it wasn't made in America, which I get. That's one of the main rules. You can't call it bourbon, but it really is not. It doesn't say it's a bourbon. It says Crown Royal bourbon mash blended Canadian whiskey. So it says what it is.
To me, that's better as it is.
This is better than the brown sugar
what those
bourbon.
guys are trying to do. Right.
That's the correct way to label it.
Right.
Right.
Because they can't.
But
make it
they
in
had to
America.
put out these boxes, and that is
Stupid.
I just got this for the novelty of it. It's actually terrible. If
It
you
is
tried it, but
I don't like it. I
But
bought a
it's,
bottle too. It's not. Good.
just the novelty of it. The fact that a company this big had to go out and put.
Well, they got it
labels
approved,
on
by
each
the
one
way.
of their
It's one of those
boxes.
things where they come back later and be like, "No, that's not approved."
No,
Yeah.
you can't do that. Yeah, people are getting pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Just that it was a big enough company that people actually noticed, I guess.
Yeah.
And I zoomed in on the image. So I initially thought it wasn't there. They have that phrasing because it's white text on pink, which is really hard to see.
Yeah.
It does say bourbon whiskey blended with port
But if you go on
wine.
their website and you click on
Yeah.
just bourbon, that's what it pulls up though. The product. It doesn't say blended.
That's
whiskey.
misleading.
Yeah, it is misleading. It absolutely.
The
is.
label can say what it wants. The label might be hit or miss on whether it's right or not, but you can't go to a website, click on a button that says bourbon, and bring up something that's not bourbon.
Right.
It also
Right.
says it's handmade in love we trust on the label as well. So,
Yeah.
So that's so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think
No,
it's
I don't like that
deceptive.
stuff either.
It's
It bastardizes the
deceptive
core
and
product.
disingenuous to
Yep.
everyone who's doing it right, and that bothers me. And thank you for letting me air it out.
No.
if it makes you feel better, they named their company Dumbass Whiskey.
I know
The guys
all
who
about
do
it, Evan. And they're before they even did a whiskey, they were dumbasses.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's time to drink. Let's drink some real bourbon. Cailee, don't drink that BSB. We're
Oh
gonna.
hell no! It's back down on the bottom shelf where it belongs.
Okay.
Don't worry.
She actually puts it on the bottom shelf. Like it has to be organized that way. So yeah, there you go. It is time to drink. Let's start this time with Luke. We need to calm Luke down. He's all riled up. So.
This will calm me down because of the historical value of everything, the label and everything Heaven Hill has done. But this is one of my new finds just recently.
Old fit. All right.
Yeah.
Those cool decanter bottles. Looks like new too. This may be a good cork bottle.
Yeah, just picked it up.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good.
That was good.
Could be easily enough to win it. You're gonna beat me for sure. I've got Virgin Bourbon here, 101. The age stated 7 years, so that's a rarity too. So we're talking about rare finds. This is a rarity, more than halfway gone, but it doesn't even matter how much is left in there because it is a screw top. It is a screw top, so I'm not participating. Beka, you're next.
I am next. I'm going to drink a brand I am loyal to, my husband's.
Okay.
This one is actually this is Midnight Moss. This is one of our newest single barrel picks. There's no cork pock. I'm having a stroke.
A cork cock.
A cork pop.
Pack.
I have
All right.
no cork pop because it was halfway open anyways.
Okay, fair enough. Cailee, you're next. Luke has the lead. What do you got?
I am also going to be brand loyal to Leatherwood, and I'm going to drink some Snake Eater. This is what I was drinking on before the Titans game today. So here we go.
Okay,
Oh,
no,
not
enough.
nothing.
Enough. All right.
It was really loud earlier. Like when I opened it, I was like, "Holy shit!
Sure.
I would have won a cork
You
pop
can't
competition."
expect. Yeah, you can't expect it to be explosive when you opened it earlier in the
Right.
day. So, Evan, you're next.
Yeah, I'm going to be brand loyal as well. Since these guys actually did our wedding whiskey, I'm going to open up a brand new bottle from them. This is their batch 8 of Rally Point Maple Sunset from Still 630. And I feel like I need to try to get a win, so I'm going new bottles.
Okay. Ooh,
Tough
that's
one.
close. What do you think, Becca? We're gonna divert to you.
I'm going to go with Luke's because Evans just had one sound where I feel like Luke's had numerous like resounding sounds to it.
Yeah. If you talk about a secondary sound with Evan, he doesn't want to talk about it because there was a slosh. At the end there.
Multi-dimensional.
He didn't stick the landing. He didn't stick the
I
landing.
did see some liquid fly
Oh, yeah.
out the top.
Yeah. So there you go. Luke wins. So congrats, Luke.
Cheers, Luke.
And cheers.
Cheers.
Luke's in a
Cheers,
hotel room
everybody.
meeting a new grandbaby. So that's how cool is that? Cheers.
Congrats.
Yeah.
It's just Becca, she was born Wednesday.
That's
Congratulations.
so cool. So cool.
What's her name? We know. Yes.
Syra Bell.
Ira Bell.
That's cute.
SyraBelle.
Very nice.
That's
Very
cute.
Nice.
I love it.
Pretty
Belle
nice.
means beauty. She's gonna be beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. You know who's going to be wrapped around her finger? That guy.
Uh-huh.
I wonder.
Oh, yeah. Grandpa's going to be spending a lot of money.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wonder.
Yeah. If she asks for something, I think she's going to get it.
That's easy, man.
All right. We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about consumers of bourbon, why they aren't brand loyal anymore. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley of the ABV Network. Let's talk about the people who make this show happen. First up is Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Company founder Andy Lang started distilling as a hobby while serving his country as an elite Green Beret. Andy distilled all over the world during his time in the military and brought this passion back to him in the U.S. when he returned home. A visit to Leatherwood combines Andy Lang's unique distilled spirits and a museum of artifacts from his time serving the U.S. Share a drink with a fallen soldier at their bar where you can grab an acrylic bio off the wall that celebrates the individuals who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect his or her country. They will also ship their distilled spirits directly to you, so check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com. We are also sponsored by Moonshine University. This longtime partner for the ABV Network helps educate individuals looking to get into the distilled spirits business, service industry employees looking to expand their knowledge, and individuals simply wanting to know more about the process and history of the spirits industry. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at Moonshine University, and it's something I continuously draw upon and connect with fellow graduates. Check out their full listing of classes, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes, and more at moonshineuniversity.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at neelyfamilydistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky. All right, back to the show. Well, go ahead, Danny. Is there something you need to say?
just sitting there saying that plain and simple, if you're sending me to a text, you need to tell me you need to send it to me on a text. So
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about why drinkers aren't brand loyal anymore.
Yes, they are. And there's probably a lot of people scratching their heads. I mean, even the team, as they're going through, they're like, I'm brand loyal to this. But it's not like the old days when it would just be one. It would be like, no, I'm a Jim Beam drinker. That's what I drink. Or I like Old Crow. That's what we don't have Old Crow. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not drinking then tonight. I'll take a water then. You know. So today's bourbon drinker is not that way. And why do we think that is? Do we think it's just the number of choices that we have, or have we evolved and we're better, or what's going on here? Do we think?
I think
I gotta believe. Oh, go ahead, Becca.
It's, having so many more options, it also it can do two things to you. So when you have that many options, there's some people who will go, well, I need to try all of these then.
Right.
But then there's also the other people who go, I only need the one thing that I only want, the only thing I ever drink, and that's what I want to drink. And they freak out because of the overabundance of choices as well. But I think people are getting better about just realizing that maybe they should try something else and branch out to something that they've never heard of or anything like that. So I think you're right with that, Steve. Luke, what were you saying?
I was pretty much in the same line you're going. Back in the day, like Steve, when we did the Reminiscing podcast. My mom was an old Charter fan. Didn't deviate from that. But then back then, there really weren't a whole lot of choices.
Exactly.
But now it's like I hearken it to the biggest box of Godiva chocolates you can think about. You can change your flavor and your taste, whatever you want to do. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, cream, nut. Like Becca was saying, it's better for us because we can spin and pivot to whatever we want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just one of those people, and I'm brand loyal to all the brand. It's like what I'm drinking is I truly can say this. What I'm drinking is my favorite at that moment in time. So, it's just one of those things where if you're, enjoying something, I can be the person that's like, this is the one that I like right now. So, yeah. How about you, Evan? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I did a little homework on this, and I asked some other people as well. Got some help from the streets.
Okay.
So I spoke with
man on the streets. Evan
man on the streets. But out there, finger in the pulse of the people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I spoke with a owner of a bar. So my cousin-in-law owns the Whiskey Ring in St. Louis.
Okay.
And he gave me some feedback that, you know what? He has seen that in the past, people were definitely brand loyal. He felt like over the last few years, he's seen people move away from that. And he thinks more recently that with what COVID has done, either like reducing people's collection sizes or limiting their options where they go, he's actually seen a resurgence of some people starting to narrow in on some brands again.
Okay.
So that's one perspective from a bar owner. Had a conversation with my wife, name dropping. So Taylor had some good suggestions that it is part
name
of
dropping. People are like, oh, he talked to Taylor.
Taylor?
Talk to my wife.
You spoke to Taylor. Hold on.
Yeah, I did.
Hold on.
Okay.
And yeah, sorry. And I think she made a really strong, valid point about human nature is that we're much easier at being against something than being for something. And that people are really good at being anti this. So being anti-brand loyal, because, well, you don't have to just like one thing. You can like many things, but you really hate the one. I think a good example of that's like, I really don't like Jack Daniels. I don't like their flagship product. Anything they come out with, I probably wouldn't really try it or want to buy it because it's easier for me to be against a brand than it is to be for one.
Right. And social media definitely fosters that environment.
Right.
I mean, how often do you see like, I just tried the world's worst bourbon today. It's Eagle Rare. Oh, really? That's the worst bourbon you've ever tried. I've seen or Buffalo Trace. No, it's not. That's not the worst bourbon that you'll ever drink. Is there better bourbons than just regular Buffalo Trace? Or even, and then they go after the Pappy collection. Pappy 20. They put the vomit icon on there. Yeah, right. That's the worst thing you've ever drank.
Yeah, really.
Give me a break.
Makes
Give me
no
a break.
sense.
Yeah.
I will say this too with that point, Evan, of like the being against something. Something I hear in the distillery sometimes is that like I just had a great couple that have come in. They hopefully, I'm finger crossed, they finished the entire bourbon trail today.
Nice.
They're a great couple. They stopped in twice to see us. And both times when we're closed, and I just happen to be there, and then they hang out for like 2 hours and we just drink bourbon and talk about stuff. But I asked them, because from the last time I saw them, they had not done a lot of the trail yet. And I said, so what has been like the best distillery that you went to? And then I said, has there been any disappointments? And they go, you're going to be surprised at what our biggest disappointment is. And I was like, what is it? And they said Maker's Mark. And I was surprised, because I was like,
I like that tour.
Yeah, because I was like,
not like Maker's Mark.
I was like, well, what do you mean? And they were like, well, like,
tour is good. It's beautiful. It's historic.
And they had gone on like a rainy day, and they didn't have a tour, but they like when they had asked some people to like be like, okay, well, where can we go to the gift shop? They didn't get great service. And I kind of talked to them a little bit, and I was like, well, like, it is an amazing tour. Like, try to get on the tour next time, give it another shot. Yeah. But they even said, they're like, we don't think that we're going to drink as much Maker's Mark anymore, because like we just did not have good service that day. And
Punish
I was
yourself.
like, well, like, just give them another shot. Like, try to like maybe get it, like try to get on the tour, because like the tour, and there are some days at at any business where like things are just kind of off.
And things have been a little bit thrown off with COVID. They've had to change things and all this. It's been a little bit of a mess.
I'd say everything is just weird these days. And so if you're
it's almost like that's one of the ones you got to go on, really. Makers is like,
and so I think that especially right now, like if you're being thrown off by a distillery that you want to tour with, that like you liked their brand before, and like the tour wasn't, or like the experience wasn't what you expected, give them another shot once maybe some things get less weird with stuff, because it probably is a good tour. I mean, I loved our tour. I thought that was a fantastic tour.
I also want to say,
it's a great tour.
So amazing.
I also want to say, give distilleries, kind of a grace period. Like right now, coming into Leatherwood, so new.
Yeah.
It's tough. And I came in as the person that they are relying on for a lot of things. And, I tried to bring up our tours last week to Andy, and he was just like, we got a lot of other stuff to worry about before we get to that. And I was like, yeah, I got you. But I just, just for future reference, like I'm a great tour guide and I know how to do that shit. Like, let's sit down and at some point come through a tour. But he does it his own way. And there's some people that come in on Saturdays expecting to be able to do a tour because the website from 2 years ago, from 3 people ago, still says that we do tours daily. And it's kind of hit or miss. Like if there's distillers there that can give a tour real quick, they will. And it's real short. It's not anything like some tours I've been on in the past. But I would say just give them some time. There's growing pains, especially during this time. I hate the fucking word, but this unprecedented time is.
Well, you're actually not allowed to use that term on this show, Cailee. So you're just gonna have to stop right there.
I don't want to use it anymore.
You're not allowed to. You can't say those terms anymore on the show. I will say this, Steve, though, about the whole brand loyalty thing and not being brand loyal. I actually like that people are less brand loyal now, because I think it's way cooler that people are trying random shit that they don't know what it is. They have no clue what it is, and they're sitting in a bar and they go, I don't know what that bottle is. Give me that bottle.
Let me try it.
Want to try it? Yep.
And
that's how I am.
Expanding their just everything that they're doing, and they're like finding out that there's maybe other things out there other than the Buffalo Traces, the Maker's Marks, the Woodford Reserves, Jim Beams. They're finding out that there's other things that are actually really good that don't have to be under all those main labels, and they're trying other things. So I think that the lack of brand loyalty is actually it's a very good thing, especially for us craft distillers.
Right.
Yeah,
The lack
I
of brand
think
loyalty
it
to
adds
the big,
a whole
the big
new
brands.
a whole new kind of realm to the craft industry and everything. Like, you know, I have my favorite big brand, but I'm always local to the, you know, or I'm always loyal to local. So like if I have a local distillery, I'm going to be loyal to them. Even if like I don't really love their product, I'm still going to go and support them. And I think that's what non-brand royalty or loyalty is about. I think it's just, you know, going out and supporting as many brands as you can and continuing that drive for the people that are behind the sale, you know. I'm
going to say this with that, Cailee. I will support a local brand assuming that they are making that brand. If it's something that they're actually, if it's a local distillery that all they do is source and they're not even attempting to get into that other thing.
Sometimes you got to taste where they're going, not where they're at.
Yeah, like if they're actually like they're making it there, then I would be loyal to them to a point, unless it was really, really bad. Then I can't be. I'm sorry, but if they just are sourcing everything and they're not trying to do anything else, then like I don't think that you need to be brand loyal to something that's not.
Oh no, absolutely not.
One to me that just surprises me, the amount of brand loyalty there is to it, and that's like bullets. So the Diageo products, you know, when you look at you know the delivery services, Bullet is like number one, and you look at bartenders, they're number one. I don't know how they get that level of brand loyalty, because that brand doesn't appeal to me at all, because there's no personality to it. Who's your favorite Bullet person? Who's their master distiller? Who's their brand ambassador? Who's their Freddie Johnson, the great tour guide? They don't have anyone. I don't know how you build that brand loyalty without. They just don't seem to do anything that at least it would appeal to me, that gets me interested in the brand. So
they get market saturation.
Yeah, I guess it's crazy.
Which I think, you know, that's a good thing, because it, in my opinion, they'll look at that and say, yeah, that's a base. But from that base, you can jump to a craft distiller and find out what open fermentation's all about.
Oh, yeah.
Find out, you know, things like that. I mean, it's a good base, but
there's so many things you can discover.
What they do to get it, who knows? But as long as everyone's drinking bourbon and they're moving in the right direction or trying different things, that's
good for all of us.
That's good for everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's a little bit like through some of the conversations I was working through, is I almost was thinking about like the sports analogy. And what's nice about brands is it's unlike a sports team, because you don't have to just really like sign up to be a part of the team, right? Like if you got a hometown team, like you're loyal to that team, and anybody they play, that's your opponent. But with brands, and especially our whiskey, while people are just as passionate, you can buy bottles from many different places and you're not hurting anyone else. It's only a net positive. I'm only helping because I'm buying your bottle, and I'll buy your bottle too. And that helped both people. It didn't hurt that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, brand loyalty, it's evolved, and I think we're in a good place. I agree with the team, and I think that was kind of the general consensus. I think it's a better thing now where people are trying different things, and ultimately that ends up being better for the consumer, because if we're just locking in and we don't care, we only drink this one brand and everyone's the same way, what's going to be what's going to challenge those distilleries to try to retain our business or try to get new customers? It's not. They're just going to be like, we got to hold on to what we've got. So I think this ends up being a good thing for us. We win as consumers when people are trying different things. And we've seen how the impact of craft, because we've gone out and tried those things, craft has had on the big guys, and the big guys are doing better things now because of craft has pushed them. So it's a cool thing. All right. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Cailee, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can come see me out at Leatherwood Distillery on Friday nights. And yeah, I'm pretty drunk, but
You can't tell. You can't tell.
Yeah, you should follow me on at the Bourbon Bakers. Also, earlier in the show, I posted on my personal account when I meant to post on my bourbon account, and it was really embarrassing, but it's back on there now. So just enjoy that.
Just enjoy it. Oh, there you go. There you go. Evan, how about you? Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Evan Van Swyk, or on Instagram, Wit Wisdom Whiskey, where I don't know if you'll find a whole lot of
wit, a whole lot of wisdom,
comedy. I don't know if I'm that smart or intelligent.
Very pretentious. Yeah.
A little pretentious, but you will see pictures of whiskey. So, you know.
There you go. All right.
About as accurate as a weatherman.
There you go.
Oh, no. God, not that.
Luke, how about you?
We can't hash that open again.
Yeah.
You can find me at SantaFeBoutiqueWines.com on Instagram and Luke Otero at SantaFeBoutiqueWines.com.
All right, Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me at Neely Family Distillery, and you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got that company website, abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, our shop, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that one. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye. Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least, at the top of the show, I mentioned investment opportunities at the new liquor store concept, the ABV Barrel Shop, being launched in 2022 by myself, Jim Fosnot, and Scott Creighton. We are crowdfunding some of the capital needed to open the store. Not only does it offer a return on your investment, but a lifetime of status and benefits at the store. Of course, this investment is a loan and involves a high degree of risk, which may not be suitable for all persons. Prospective investors should carefully evaluate the risk and merits of an investment, should confer with their own legal and financial advisors, and should be able to bear the risk of the loss of their investment before considering the investment described herein. If you would like more information, contact us via the under construction website at abvbarrelshop.com and fill out the form.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.